Back to the show, 8:25 now. New this morning, legendary author Tom Clancy has died. According to his publisher, the writer of bestsellers like Patriot Games and Rainbow Six died last night in a hospital in Baltimore. The details surrounding his death are limited right now. Clancy set the new standard for technically accurate military novels and published his first book, The Hunt for Red October, in 1984. His most famous character was CIA agent Jack Ryan, who has been portrayed on the big screen numerous times by actors Alec Baldwin, Harrison Ford, and Ben Affleck. Clancy was 66 years old. Well, money is the #1 relationship wrecker, and whether you're planning to walk down the aisle or planning for your retirement, communication is the key, especially in this uncertain economy. Kathleen Murphy is with Fidelity Investments, and she is joining us this morning live from New York City. Good morning, Kathleen.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
Thanks so much for joining us, Kathleen. My fiance and I are actually coincidentally having a lot of these conversations right now. So tell me, why aren't women as engaged as they should be in personal finance?
You know, women historically have not been as engaged, and that trend continues. Our studies showed that Gen Y women, for example, are the least engaged of any generation of women. And the reason is primarily twofold, and they're related. Number one, women are not as confident in their investment skills. And secondly, they defer to their husbands because they think men are, quote, better at math, even though surveys show women are very good at investing once they engage and often do a better job than men.
Okay, that is obviously an age-old adage, but a lot of women are now in the workplace. What's the best way, I'll put it this way, what's the best way for a couple to start that investment conversation? I know my fiance and I right now are talking about combining our 401ks, and one of us might have more saved than the other. So what should we do as a first step?
Well, you're doing the first step personally by having the conversation even before you get married. It's really important for couples, whether they're married or not, to have that joint conversation about what are the sources of saving, what are the sources of investment, making sure you're properly allocated around those investments, and also that you have common goals in terms of what you're saving for, when do you want to retire, how much do you want to live, save for your retirement, all of those things. If you have a plan now, it takes the emotion out of it, and you don't have surprises later on.
All right, Kathleen, 3 words that every investor never wants to hear is loss of principal. How safe are the markets right now, and when should a would-be potential investor get into the markets? Right now, or should we wait?
You know, with so many investors, particularly younger investors, the point is to start saving, number one, and invest for the long term. Make sure you're comfortable with the investments that you're making. Have a long-term view. Don't try and time the market or day trade. Make sure you're putting your investment dollars to work and have a long-term view. The worst mistake you can make is getting in and out of the market based on short-term volatility.
All right, Kathleen, a couple of fast-paced questions for you right here, rapid fire.
Sure.
How heavily should young couples be invested in equities?
Younger couples should be more invested in equities than fixed income. On average, they're going to live into their 90s, and they've got to make their money last. Okay,
what about putting money into a fund like, say, a BlackRock Global Al?
You know, I wouldn't give advice about any particular fund. It really depends on the circumstances of the individual couple. You've got to tailor it to your specific situation.
All right, and if one person has more money in their 401k than the other, how do you go about combining them?
Well, first of all, the most important thing you can do, particularly if you're young, is make sure you're maxing out on your 401k, particularly if there's a company match that's free money. Make sure you're maxing out, both of you, in your individual 401ks, and then save as much as you can in an IRA beyond your 401k.
All right, that is Kathleen Murphy with Fidelity Investments. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.